I think that, klezmer music or Yiddish music is for anyone who can appreciate good music that's played with heart.
So the entire klezmer community felt part of us winning a Grammy.
We're in a world where we need a lot of support from our community and from our fans. That's sort of how the arts keep ticking and how music keeps ticking for us.
The 40th year anniversary is going to be so exciting.
The next album will be entirely Klezmatics, but it'll also be a statement of the challenges that we face at this point in world history.
We'd sort of actively like to reach out to those of you out there who might be interested in covering one of our songs.
It feels very important now to maintain our focus and the kind of vision as a group that has gotten us through these first 40 years.
Tell me at the 70s of your Java and too much to do not move me anymore. Say farewell to Finland further in the number 4. Adios.
When we started the Klezmatics, we had no idea what was going to happen with the klezmer and Yiddish scene, the role we were going to play in it. We were kind of naives, and it was really uncharted territory. And we stepped in and just followed our own intuition and followed our bliss and ended up making a real difference in the world and in the world music scene and in the world of Yiddish music. Never expected that we'd be around for 40 years, but we are, and it's really something that we celebrate while we look at it with kind of amazement, as in, how did that happen?
I ran into Frank, and he asked me if I was interested in being in a klezmer band, and I essentially done that in high school, and it sounded like a good way to make some extra money, from playing at a wedding or something. And I said, yeah, okay.
And what really attracted me to the Klezmatics was the really honoring the tradition, but also including so many other kinds of music and influences and emotions.
Most of us in the band have been involved with various world musics. For instance, Balkan music was big for me and Frank in Boston. And there's old-timey stuff with Lisa, and we've all brought some of these influences to bear. And then the jazz thing, not so much jazz, the style, but jazz, the improvisation figures big in the klezmatic stuff. And so we always want to have the essence of that klezmer in it, whatever we're doing, for whatever kind of influence we might be bringing in. And then fairly naturally, we started bringing in the genres that we also knew more about, like Balkan and the jazz stuff.
The process of being part of the group has been one of learning, so it's been almost 20 years, and just coming to know this music more deeply from inside, and to get a hands-on experience of the culture, the audiences that we play for, the Yiddishkeit, the klezmer traditions that I've come to call home.
We all went to the Grammy Awards together, and we were assuming that it was going to be maybe a chance that we would win, but we probably wouldn't. But it was still a rare thing that a klezmer group gets to go to the Grammys as nominees. And it was kind of a shock when we won. It just, that little bit of light on this kind of music, I think, is a nice thing to have.
We've always been a band that focuses on social justice, on thinking about the greater context for our music and our words, and we've always been very conscious of our lyrics and with our collaborators and with our musical choices.
The Klezmatics are all about collaboration. Collaboration within the band, collaboration within ourselves, so that we are constantly taking outside information and figuring out a way of incorporating it into our sound. So for our 40th anniversary. I mean, we've just started figuring out what these collaborations are going to be, but we just know. I mean, look, we did Palobolis, the Hava Alberstein. I was before my time, but it was gorgeous. And then, of course, Woody Guthrie. The Woody Guthrie project was absolutely amazing, and for me, really deep, because I come from, more of the American folk and Irish, and we kind of put all those three together with the Woody Guthrie project, which was astounding. The 40th year anniversary is going to be so exciting.
I think that klezmer music or Yiddish music is for anyone who can appreciate good music that's played with heart and with your whole being, and that inspires you like any other music in the world. It's part of this large universe, and it's not, at least certainly now, it's not this isolated kind of inside thing. It's much more shaking hands with all these other fellow travelers, I guess. I think any band that can survive as a group for 40 years is fairly unique.
Years fly by and you think you're paying attention to what you do, but now when you all of a sudden see such a huge milestone coming up, I noticing myself reflecting on the past years and the accomplishments that we've had over all the years.
Well, we are living in a particular moment where being a culture bearer of Jewish culture and music is a challenging thing and a very important thing.
Over our 40-year history, the Klezmatics have been blessed. We've been so fortunate to travel to so many places, expected and unexpected. We've gone all over the United States. We've gone, as soon as 1990, 1989, as soon as the Iron Curtain came down, we were in all of the former Soviet countries. We've gone to places which have no idea what klezmer or Yiddish music is, like the Reunion Islands in the middle of the Pacific. And we hope to continue all this, spreading our message of social justice, our message of Yiddishkeit, our message of musical collaboration, going places, and we hope to come to places that we've never been to before. Invite us to your town, we'll be there in a heartbeat.
One of the most exciting things to me is the project or the process of going through our catalog, which is, like 13 albums, and sort of reissuing them. The archivist in me is very attracted to the idea of looking at these with fresh ears and fresh eyes. For instance, it excites me to find either takes or material that didn't make it onto a particular recording. The explorer in me wants to go out and find them, because I know they exist somewhere.
Lauren probably mentioned that he's the sound archivist at YIVO, the Yiddish Studies Institute. That's one of the biggest centers of looking at Yiddish culture. And this idea of both producing work but also archiving it is so integral to what we do and to the whole scene, the whole klezmer Yiddish scene. In fact, one of the biggest revelations of the last 10 years has been uncovering more and more archives in different places in the former Soviet Union, all sorts of places, collecting manuscripts. With that in mind, at a certain point we realized that we are also part of this tradition, and therefore we found that it's important that our work not only gets documented, but archived also. So we're going through boxes and literally hundreds, if not thousands, of pages of documents, of recordings. We're making the Klezmatics archive, which hopefully will be reflective of the bigger archive of what is called the klezmer revival, this growth in Yiddish culture over the last 40 years of which we've been a central part.
And this is not just for looking back. This is for enriching how we're going to move forward. And it's one thing to know about all these materials that are there, but to actually put them together in a way of seeing patterns that we may not have even seen. And so the organizing is not just about, feeling good and organized, but it's about looking at a body of work and then being able to say, oh, that related to that and that related to that.
We're making some vinyl versions of most of our CDs. I think that'll be significant because it's available, and the fact that they exist as a physical item, I think, helps other people acknowledge that the recordings are still out there and that they should get online and listen to them. So.
For sure, the next album will be entirely Klezmatics, and it'll be rooted in Yiddish music and Yiddish culture, but it'll also be a statement of the challenges that we face at this point in world history. And it's a difficult time. There's so many world conflicts. There's such a paucity of positive leadership of world governments. We're at a moment where really world governments seem to be swinging towards demagoguery and leading to potential insanity on the world's front. And so we're looking at ways of addressing these things as we always do. It feels very pressing now.
At the moment, we're getting ready to celebrate 40 years, and we want everyone to be a part of it. It's a way that we can reach new audiences, younger generations who might not be aware that just in their grandparents or great-grandparents' generation, they have ties to East Europe and the culture that klezmer and Yiddish comes from, and to really be part of this celebration with us.
This being our 40th anniversary, we'd sort of actively like to reach out to those of you out there who might be interested as fellow musicians in covering one of our songs. Maybe you want to help support our work in archiving our materials and digitizing them and making them available to future generations who want to know about the band. Maybe you want to help us by donating to our project of recording our own album of new material to celebrate our 40th anniversary. I know that there are those of you who are out there who would really like to be involved in helping us celebrate and making something really special.
We are reaching out to all these different bands. We've included a couple of new bands on our latest Hanukkah project, and we're planning to include other younger musicians, upcoming musicians doing klezmer in their own way. And I think our 40th year anniversary will be like a big explosion for the entire community. One hopes that everybody will come along with us. They always have. So
the band's history has spanned a long arc of what the music industry has to offer, and today in 2025 going on 2026, we're in a world where we need a lot of support from our community and from our fans. That's sort of how the arts keep ticking and how music keeps ticking for us. We're going to be having a Patreon page and various ways that you individually and larger organizations can get on board and support us. We're looking to make a major splash in the 40th, celebrating the culture and the klezmer and Yiddish music for generations to come, actually. So this is a big moment for us.
Stay tuned we're hitting the social media and we'll be producing hopefully some new materials. Book form and other box set of some of our music, and stay tuned for the 40th anniversary coming up 2026.
It feels very important now to maintain our focus and the kind of vision as a group that has gotten us through these first 40 years so that we can be around for maybe another 40 years till 120 busy. 120.